Hello everybody, we are coming to the end of our comma study. The last one we are going to be looking at is writing in a letter. And then the other part that you're going to do today is just to practice, because tomorrow you're going to be putting all of your skills into play for a graded assignment. So this is going to utilize all of our skills. So I'm going to talk to you just briefly about the letter writing, because that's a pretty easy one. And then we're actually going to do the comma practice on page 20, most of it together, just kind of reviewing everything we've talked about over the last couple days and last week, putting it all into practice, okay? So when it comes to the letter writing, the thing you need to decide is the letter a friendly letter or a more professional letter? A friendly letter is written to somebody you know, and it's when we hear the word friendly letter, we think that it's like a happy letter, but that's not what it means by friendly letter. By friendly letter, it means somebody you know personally or somebody that you're writing to that's on the same level as you. So when we look at this and we have a friendly letter, you're going to put a comma after the salutation or the greeting. And then you also, no matter what kind of letter it is, you always put a comma in your closing. So in this case, dear Sarah, comma, I can't wait till your visit, can you? When does your train? And then this is called an ellipses. It means that it continues on. We're just not looking at it all. Your best friend, comma, Maria. We know it's friendly because it says your best friend, and so we need to have a comma at the beginning and a comma at the end. But in question number 1, well, we look at the directions. It says make corrections if needed, and if the commas are correct, just write a C. So in this first one, dear President Obama, it has come to my ellipses, sincerely, Martin Baines. So I don't know President Obama personally, so that means this is more of a professional letter and not a personal one. So you can see the colon right here in a more professional setting, dear President Obama. But then right here in the closing, we have a semicolon, which it said all letters are going to end in a comma. So that means this is not correct. Swish, swish, delete, add a comma. So this is not correct. I can put an X there just so I know, but I have to fix it. Dear Grandma, if it's my grandma, I know her personally. And so I know that this is going to be a friendly letter. So a comma is correct. Thanks for the, and then it continues, love Susie. But you can see Susie forgot something. She forgot the comma. So this one wasn't correct, but I fixed it. Dear Miss Sedler, I hope you, blah, blah, blah. Sincerely, Susie. There's a comma here, a comma here. This one's correct, so I'm going to put a C. You're going to do the last 3 on your own, looking at Marty, Director, and Pedro. Okay? But let's go over the back, and we're going to do about half of this together, and then you're going to continue practicing the rest on your own. So at the beginning, we're doing the direct address. Yuri, what did you decide to write about? So it's directing this question to Yuri, so we need to put a comma there. I didn't decide yet, Darius. How about you? So now this is being directed to Darius, so we're going to put a comma before Darius, and after Darius, we have a period, so we don't need to add a comma there. I picked a subject yesterday, as a matter of fact. Now this, as a matter of fact, is what we were talking about when we were doing interruptions. This is interrupting the thought. He could have just said, I picked a subject yesterday, but they added the as a matter of fact. So we have to put commas in the beginning and the end. But at the end, it's ending in a period, which means we don't have to have a comma there, because we're not going to do a comma then a period. I read some magazines, and I decided to write about climbing Mount Everest. Mount Everest, the tallest mountain in the world, is 29,035 feet high. They just told you that Mount Everest is the tallest mountain in the world. They were giving more detail. That's at a positive that we learned about yesterday. So we are going to say Mount Everest, the tallest mountain in the world, is 29,035 feet high. This majestic mountain is near Kathmandu, Nepal, on the Tibetan border. Kathmandu is an area of Nepal. So just like we would do Lampasas, Texas, we have to put a comma in between. because we're stating that Kathmandu is part of Nepal. On May 29, 1953, Edmund Hillary and Tenzing Norgay became the first climbers to reach the summit of Mount Everest. They just listed things and gave us dates. So on the date, we have to put a comma between the day and the year so that we know the difference between the two, as well as after the day, after the year, because this is giving us details into what the thought's going to be as to when it happened. Now they've listed names: Edmund, comma, Hillary, comma, and Tenzing Norgay. So those are 3 different people. Became the first climbers to reach the summit of Mount Everest. Norgay was a Sherpa, a member of the Tibetan group who live in the high altitudes. What did they just define? They just defined a Sherpa. So a Sherpa, comma, a member of the Tibetan group who live in the high altitudes. So because this whole rest of it defines what a Sherpa is, we just need to put the 1 comma there. You're going to do the rest of it on your own. It says there are expert mountain climbing guides. Sherpas, in fact, helped the National Geographic 50th anniversary Everest expedition to the summit on May 25, 2002. So ask yourself, are they pausing somewhere? What do we need to do with this date? Utilizing all of those things that we've talked about in the last week and a half on commas. We need to see, are they interrupting what our thoughts are? Are they explaining or giving details with those appositives? Are they listing things? So think about all of those commas that we've talked about and go from there, okay?